Hello guys, this video will help you to configure web services using Axis web services and your Eclipse editor, and then you can deploy it to your Tomcat, and we'll walk through some of the basic steps required to do that. And the important thing is you need to have a basic idea of doing the Java coding, and you need to have a Tomcat web server, and you need to download Axis from this particular link. Once you download this 1.4. This is the latest build as of now, so let's download this, and I already downloaded this one and put it in my local folder. So this is the place I have kept my downloaded file. And this is axis bin.zip file, and I have unzipped it, and I could get this particular folder, axis1_ folder. So the thing is, like, we need to copy a folder from the web apps of the Axis unzipped folder. You have an web apps folder, and after that you have an Axis folder. You need to copy this down and put it in your Tomcat web apps folder. Simple steps to configure Axis to your local web server. So once you download the Apache Axis from the website and download it your local, unzip this, copy the Axis folder from the web apps folder of the downloaded folder like this. So you have an Axis folder which stays exactly right here. See, Axis folder, this is what I downloaded, and this is the web apps you need to copy. We need a folder which we need to copy from the web apps folder and put it back to your Tomcat web apps folder. Simple. So now we need to start Tomcat. Once you start this Tomcat, you could see your applications up or running. If I refresh now, I should be able to see an Axis folder. So the Axis application is up and running, and let's list any of the web services deployed into this. We have some default web services already deployed. We will deploy our own web service later on, so that's what our major motto over here. So just get it done. So before that, we need to see the code, what we are going to develop, and what's the service which we going to deploy into a Tomcat server. So here I have my Eclipse open, and this is already a project configured. So I have some packages and these are my classes which I've created. So I'll describe what is that. So I have to refresh this folder. Okay, so you have Eclipse open, and then we have a simple, this is a one Java file, a simple Java file. Oh, my computer a bit slow. Okay, this is the class file which basically have three methods: multiply, subtract, and add, and it returns whatever the value you are asking to calculate, and returns the addition, returns the subtraction, and returns the multiplication, the simple methods. And I have an interface. Basically it's an interface which has got add and subtract methods. And let's forget about this now. So we'll take care of these two packages, Apache Axis WS sample and the sample web service. So these packages, so I would now go ahead and compile these files. So I will compile it from my command prompt. So copy this file path, and we will there we are. So this is exactly the path where we have in Eclipse. So this is the path where I have all those. So if you see the tree, we have a source folder. This is a bin folder which Eclipse created by, so you forget that now. So we have classes and source. So under classes I have some packages defined. So let's see how we deal with simple calculator and another class calculator.java. These are the two files we're going to compile now. So let's issue some commands to do that. So these are the basic steps I just note down to get this project up and running. So we need to have install the JDK, download Apache Tomcat and configure it. Probably you might know this, a very simple step. Copy it and just unzip it, and you can just start your Tomcat. Basically start an 8080 port. So you have to type http localhost 8080. So your front page will show up. So it's basically simple steps, and this is the link where you should get your Apache Axis downloaded, and the recent version is 1.4. so that's how it is. So let's move to our source folder. Under Axis we have a source folder. So there we have copied all the Java files. So I'm going to compile the calculator Java to classes folder. So let's see that. So I successfully compiled that. So let's go and see whether it is compiled properly. So under classes folder you have created org, Axis, WS sample, the same package structure which I have created here. So if you could open your Eclipse, you can see that here. Just let me refresh this once. Okay. So this is the file which we generate using that compiler command. So I got this simple calculator compiled, and now I'd like to compile my. This can be done in a single step, but basically it doesn't. I mean, people won't understand what exactly is happening. So just want to step one by one, and then we will do it at a stretch later on. So this is the next one. I'm going to compile the next is calculator Java class. It is again compiled to my class folder. Good, it's got compiled, and let's see how it has happened here. Got it. So we got calculator class and a simple calculator class. So compile that. Now we need to have these jar files. So you get these jar files when you unzip your Axis download. You would have downloaded the Axis zip file from this link, and once you extract that link, and you can see a folder structure developed that is something like this. You get a folder structure like this. This is the file I downloaded, and this is what I got when I extract. So under this, if you go to a lib folder, you can see all these files, and sometimes you may not receive these two files. You need to copy it down from some other location. Any of your, you can download it from the even from Tomcat for Apache side itself. You need to find that out. Activation and mail. Sometimes you may get, because I did not get this, and these two jars, and these are the main jars you need to have it to get this project compiled. There are some dependency between these. So let's see, this is the path, Axis 4 and lib folder. Under lib you have all these boundaries. So let's go back to the compilation. So these are the jar files which we require for this compilation. Now I am going to set the class path like this, all the jar files. So I have all the jar files, and you can see till the mail.jar, whatever I have. So I set the class path. Now I'm going to set it here. So it's well set. I'll clear this off now. Now my intentions are, let's go to the classes folder now. Okay, now we are in class folder. Now I need to compile and issue a command. This basically comes from Apache class, Apache Axis class Java to WSDL, and it generates a calculator WSDL file on your root folder, and an access calculator. So this is what I'm going to give a name for that service name, and this is a URL location of the service. You could be anything. It could be localhost or your machine name, or whichever the machine the Tomcat is running. And finally, I have to compile this past the class where this calculator interface, which we already compiled. So these are all the parameters which I passed to this. It's Java to WSDL. Now I'm going to get executed. So it should give me a file called calculator.wsdl. So let's see that. Right now we have this much classes. Nothing yet has come up. So once I issue that command, you will be able to see that. So let's see. Right. So let's refresh here. You got the calculator WSDL file. So in the file path, you need to go over here. You go to access folder. You can see a calculator WSDL file just now created. Is the output of the command which you just issued. So I got that. And next, I am going to create using the WSDL file. If you open the WSDL file, it implies something. It basically says that we have three methods where we have defined, and this port type is calculator, and this defines something. WSDL file it dictates something to the next command, so it's going to execute all these things. You have a calculator service, and it's going to listen to this port, and this is what you should issue when you call this service. So these are all bit later on we can look into this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to issue this command. I forgot that which command I copied. Right. Okay. This is the command I copied, and I have to get this done. Alright. So by giving this as a parameter, calculator or WS is a parameter, I'm going to compile this. And this is the place where these files will get generated under source folder. Under source folder, you can see this package will get generated, and you will see some files generated in that particular package. So let's see that. Oops, what happened? So you need to go back to a root folder, because that's a place where you have a calculator WSDL. Got? Yeah, let me see. It get compiled now. Okay, that's fine. So that means it generated some class under this package. When I refresh this project root, you can see some files generated. See, calculator service locator, calculator SOAP binding IMPL, and calculator SOAP binding stub. These are basically the classes which required for the SOAP conversion, and this is basically the methods which will be invoked by the service. And this is what it implies, because we are implementing this particular interface. You have two methods of this, so simple. So this is what we got the output. Now we have to compile these particular classes, whatever we generated, because this is just created the Java files. So we need to compile these classes. So for that, I'm going to issue this command. It should be, we have to move to source folder to issue this command. So let's see how it's going to compile. It's compiled with some warnings, unchecked unsafe operation, because it has some warnings, but we don't need to bother up that. It's all web service warnings, so we don't need to dig into that. It will take care of. So